Good morning. Sorry I'm late. It's only 5 minutes. Shit's getting serious. The ninja is coming out before the forge is even lit. Fun times. Hey John, how you going, mate? Right, where's that piece of damascus? Alrighty. That piece of damascus. Hey Murphy. Hey Daryl. You are first. I wish I was freezing, John. There it is. Yeah, so to preface this, I'm not sure how long this stream is going to go for. It is currently about 33 degrees Celsius, which is in the high 80s, low 90s Fahrenheit. But it's actually forecast to get up to 40 degrees Celsius today, which is 110 for you metrically challenged people. So yeah, it's going to be a really hot day today. And so, not sure how long my camera is going to live, and not sure how long I'm going to live. So, we'll kind of take the bull by the horns and go as far as we can. But if I start getting to the point where I'm dying, I'm going to stop. And obviously, if the camera dies, I don't have an option. Luckily, it's quite windy, so we should stay cool-ish for a little while. Hey Ben Toombs, how you going? But yeah, if this ends up being a bit shorter of a stream, that's why. It's because it's bloody hot today. So, as you'll know by the title, I had the poll out. 101 people voted, which is cool. And you all voted for the full Tang Hunter. Unfortunately, only 16 of you voted to make a DeLorean out of the Damascus. And for those of you who didn't get the joke about that, it's an 88 layer billet, and DeLoreans have to go 88 miles per hour to get to the right speed to jump time. I thought it was funny. So, yes. Thank you for those of you who voted for the DeLorean, but I'm kind of glad it didn't win. I don't think I have enough steel. And my flux capacitor died yesterday. Anyway, so we're going to make a full Tang Hunter out of this. I'm going to use the same profile as the 2-hour knife that I made, because I think that's going to look really cool for the Damascus. So that's what we're going to get to. And we might do some tricky stuff. If I live long enough for this stream to go the full length of the forging, we'll do some tricky stuff with the knife. I didn't use cocaine for the flux. I'll try some air conditioning. That'd be nice, John. I wouldn't mind a nice air conditioner mounted in my forge. Hey, Lucas. Happy Saturday indeed. Hey, Billy. All right. Hey, Daniel, Curtis. How you going, guys? Back in a second, we're just going to go grab something. Keep an eye on the forge, make sure the place doesn't burn down. job, guys. Didn't burn down. Morning, Sean. There is a fire. Yes, it's right there. I can see it. I can see it now. Well, I finally got my poster in the mail. My new awesome knifeism poster. Hopefully that's the right way around for you guys. Now available on my Redbubble store if you're interested. That's going to get put up in the shop. Use a knife as a wall sticker, yeah. I'm doing scrolls today, am I? Yeah, the flat pointy type. Flat pointy type. Let's try the bottom. I don't think it needs to be any hotter than it already is. To be honest, Ben. I think it could do with not being as bloody hot. Although if you ask Alex, apparently it's snowing where he is. Oh well. I'll live, or I won't, either way. It'll make for good content. Yeah, screw you, Curtis. Here for the very beginning, it's going to be 110 degrees today for you metrically challenged people. Screw you, Ben. Hey Jared, how you going, mate? So, as you guys will know from the 2-hour knife, it is a harpoon-pointed, integrally guarded knife. That is true, Jay, but that's true of most self-employed people. Although you can purchase medical insurance and disability insurance. And you can donate to your own, well, we don't call it pension, we just call it superannuation. You can donate to your own superannuation fund. Hey Hans, how you going, mate? Those things are only covered by other companies because they're required to by law. You can do that as a self-employed person, but it just means that you're paying it yourself. As a kind of small-time knife maker as I stand right now, I can say that yeah, it's not super financially viable. Luckily, I have I have a awesome wife who supplies me with a roof over my head and food, so I can continue to try and follow my dreams. Jesus, Hans. You're a legend, mate. You're up before you talk to me like that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. I have to learn to speak better to old people. That's right. Hey, Paul Wheeler. How you going, mate? Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is draw this out a little bit more. I want it to be a tiny bit wider than it is, so I'm going to use the round side now. We're just spreading that material out vertically and horizontally. So I want this to be a full tang knife. At the moment it's not long enough, but we've got quite a bit of thickness. It's about 3/8 of an inch thick, 10 mil thick. And unlike when I'm forging hidden tangs, I tend to make my tang first and then my blade after when I'm making full tangs. Oh, that would have been fun, Jared. To make a penny straw. Totally, Daniel. Making a full tang hunting knife, Paul. Well, okay, Hans, but I was yelling in appreciation. Thank you. Fire is in captivity. That's it, Curtis. Yeah, I'm glad that you're all good, Jared. Hey, Randy. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, no, I'm very lucky that I have a very supportive partner. Allows me to chase my dreams. Hey, so. It's funny, the reason that it's not very financially viable is not necessarily the competition. It's actually not that competitive at the moment. There's a lot of new makers, yes, but they're not really competing on the market. The big thing is the market's just not big. Alright, see you later, Curtis. How you going, Melbourne? Definitely the rings. Fair enough. I am getting warm, Melbourne. Very, very warm. So we're going to continue to draw down the tang. I want a slightly swept tang with a step. Thanks, John. Morning, Bob. Much appreciated, John. Man, you guys are gonna make me sniffle. There goes the tang. Good night, Hans. Soren splitting heat. Yeah, fair enough. I hope so too. Thank you very much for checking in, Hans, and thank you so much for the donation, man. You're a legend. Well, you guys can trade me your cool for my hot, guys. I'm more than friggin' happy. It's already 35 degrees. Which is like 95 for you guys. Or 90-ish. It's going to be 110 today, so... Well, it's going to get warmer here in the forge. Guaranteed. With humidity. About 75% humid. I've been bladesmithing for 7 years, Murphy. Yeah, it's about 65-70% humidity. Not as humid as it could be, but a lot more than I'd like. He is at a friend's place somewhere. Yes, he is out and about. So we're just going to continue drawing this out with the round side of our rounding hammer, drawing width and length. And the big thing is that I'm going to be trying to draw a distal taper in both directions. So I'm distally taping the blade and the tang. Yeah, he's on walkabout, that's it. Yeah, I'm going to have a tapered tang and a tapered blade. Less than PewDiePie. Yeah, you need 1,000. You need 1,000 viewers and 10,000 viewing hours. No, 10,000 total views. 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 total views for 12 months. No, he's fine. He's surplus to requirements today. Little Bless the people. Well, yeah. Although that being said, one of my videos has just recently gone a little bit viral, which has been kind of fun. Hey, Uncle Buck. One of my videos, the desk knife, has actually gone a little bit viral. It's now just hit 31,000 views, and the 29,000 views, like the most recent 29,000 views, were in the last week. And I've also picked up like 150 subscribers in the last day. So yeah, it's been really nice to see the numbers explode a little bit. Why do I have my protein tank pot? Okay, so, hey Caitlin. Sorry, yes, to warm it up is the short answer. Hey Peter, just finished the desk knife video. Awesome. Yeah, so because the gas is leaving the tank at a very, very high rate of speed, and it's sublimating as it's, well, it's not sublimating, it's boiling, but it's a cold boil. So basically what it does is create a refrigerant effect. So what happens is it actually freezes the outside of the bottle, and you end up with a layer of ice on the outside of the bottle, and the pressure drops, because the colder it gets, the less pressure it has. And that will affect how hot the forge gets, so you need to keep it warm. So the water adds more thermal mass. I am not on TikTok, although my good friend and fellow co-host of the podcast, Alex Norton, is on TikTok under Valhalla Ironworks. I might one day be on I'm not sure what you told me, Sean, but yeah. No, that's Tic Tacs, not TikToks. Alright, still growing on that width. Leftover borax on it. Turning it over because I'm using the grounding slice hammer. Welds look good, so that's good. I'm making I'm making a full tank hunter knife. Night, Randy. $10K by next year. Well, we can hope, Sean. Yeah, so the vote went in, and the full tank hunter won. I think the dagger was next. No, the kitchen knife was next. The dagger was after that, and then the DeLorean came in last. Gonna do some squish fish. Am I set up for Bitcoin? No, I am not. I don't have a Bitcoin. Pointy bit of scroll to find out. The DeLorean from Back to the Future. No, it was more of a joke. There was a joke about the fact that it's an 88 layer billet and the DeLorean had to get up to 88 miles per hour to jump time. It's Preston the Press. Preston. Difficult, Peter. I have a little bit of experience in acting and stuff like that, being on stage, so it wasn't a huge leap. But yeah, there is a certain kind of, you get a little bit worried about how people are going to take you online, especially because everyone's got lots of opinions. Hey man. Yeah, I'm gonna fly over there, Daniel, just to pressure. Okay, so use the set hammer under the press. I just want to set this taper a little bit better. That just kind of screwed up that taper for me. Nice. Nice. That's all right, Peter. You are most welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Put it together ways. Fair enough. That phone's getting real hot. Well, we're all here because we like hand-forged stuff. Well, at least I hope you are. Otherwise, what the hell are you doing here? So, Niels has decided to drop out of the Forgecast because he's got a lot of other stuff on his plate. So he's trying to take care of his new house, his new workshop. He's getting a new job. He might be starting to work full time very soon. And he's going to, he's also got the Instagram and his business lining up, so he's got a lot on his plate right now, and the Forgecast is just one extra thing that he was devoting a lot of time to, as he couldn't provide an acceptable level of support for the Forgecast.
I'm not standing now.
I know. I would have named it that, Peter, but I actually have a friend named Dee, and she's a really nice person. Sorry, just working out technical difficulties, guys. Hello. That's my wife. How do you finish the flats on a brute forged knife? Well, there's a number of ways to do it. I've had a few people actually volunteer for a position on the Forgecast. At the moment, we're not looking for another host. But yeah, definitely we'll keep it in mind. We might actually put out casting for it. Yeah, I did think about going air over hydraulic. I'm glad I went with hydraulic. Just standard hydraulic. So much better. So when it comes to forge finishes on brute forge knives, sometimes you just leave it straight off the hammer without worrying too much about scale, because you want that extra pitting. If you want a clean brute to forge, then you would brush it before you do your finishing heats, and you would also use some kitai, so some wet forging, to get a really, really smooth finish. There is also, if you want super, super fine, like flat stuff, then you'd use a flatter or a set hammer, like I just used under the press. And then you have textured forge finishes, which are, people take ball peen hammers and stuff. Hey, Lufay! You win lottery. Well, when you win lottery, you can pay for me to fly over there to teach you. And Stefan is the latest person to join my Patreon crew. Thank you, Stefan. Okay, because this is going to be technically guarded, I'm going to do an offset near side of the anvil. Select the weight for my handle first. About that far. Okay, that was good. Yep, that's it. Now I'm going to go half on, half off below. I'm going to miss the work. I totally meant to do that. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. At least it cauterized itself. You can. Both of those work. I do a lot of vinegar-soaked finishes on my hammers, taking all of that scale off. My hex hawks are all gun glued. So my hex hawks are gun glued. They're a grinder finish on the facets. Yeah, I know, Caitlin. Trying not to break myself. Put a hole in it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, eventually. I'll feel it eventually. Yeah, I probably will do a coffee etch after I do my ferric chloride etch, after I do my hand sanding and all that kind of stuff. Want to see my wife? She's running away. Love you. No, Black Rifle Coffee doesn't etch. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you very much. Yes, so what happened was I was too busy concentrating on getting the right angle and stuff, and I overshot the work and ran my finger into the back of the billet. Too much hand sanding. Yeah, well, I won't disagree. Alright, I'm just going to move you around a little bit, see if you can get a different angle on there. So you can see kind of how I'm doing the set down. So I'm doing a near side set down. You go much further than this. Not that far. Don't want to thin the handle out too much. Flat side of the hammer. Resting that mushrooming. Run that taper in. And then you might come in here and bring that back down a bit. You want an even, smooth taper from there to the back. D-lam there. Might see if I can weld that back in. It's not a huge issue because it's on the Tang, but I'll see if I can weld it back in. Thank you, Melvin. Why are you still awake then, Daniel? What Caitlin said. If that'll actually cause it to be a bit blotchy. Yeah, you need instant to get a good coffee etch. Updated bottle opening video, that is certainly something I can do. I'll do one of those, definitely. yeah, so coffee, it needs to be instant coffee. The worse the instant coffee, the better. And normally I do a cold soak for 24 hours. But that's after I do my depth etch with ferric chloride. Because ferric chloride's good for depth, coffee's good for contrast. Coffee's not good for depth, and ferric's terrible for contrast. Hey George! So the mustard doesn't really etch it, it more patinates the material, it makes a forced patina. Fair enough, Caleb. Yeah, so mustard patina is a really cool thing. Have a good night, Peter. I'm on every Saturday and I upload every Wednesday, man, so I look forward to seeing you in the comments. Yeah, mustard patina is really good if you want like a splotchy, antique-ish kind of finish on your blades, but it's not really an etch. Alright, let's continue drawing this taper and forge weld those little D-lamps back in. Setting in that swoop to the handle. So I'm going to set it on the horn and I'm going to follow it from the top. Black tea won't etch, no. They have tannins. So black tea has tannins in it. It's actually used in slip joint folding knife making for darkening the scales on slip joints. In the coffee, it's the acid that's doing it, but in tea, it's got tannins instead. That colors your tea. Coke will etch steel, but it's a very, very slow etch. Drop my water. Got to stay hydrated in these super high temperatures. Got to be a good 50 degrees in here now. So I'm going over the horn, again finding my spot, before I get into the top. Fair enough, Ben. They do say you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Whew. So I just had it split a little bit in the middle. So we'll see if I can forge weld that back on itself. I suffered the curse of not being smart enough to check what my pressure was when I did the Damascus last week. I am in the OBS. I am an apprentice. Lower the camera a little bit. So the fan's blowing straight on it. I'd like to see that then. That end's going to end up getting clipped off to length. Just do one more pass to finish that taper a little bit, and then we'll do the far side offset. Yeah, no. I'm learning to work with freedom height. Well, Celsius is a metric. Celsius was built around the premise of water freezing and water boiling. So at sea level, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just going to quickly run the press. I'm just going to flatten this out a bit. Can't be bothered moving the camera. Well, yeah, because metric makes more sense, Melvin. Laborers as well, and craftsmen. And shooters. Shooters still use imperial. That's where I learned my imperial measurements. Kelvins, yeah, wow. I do, Bob. It's very true. I do. Most days. Well, Holler, it only looks that way because it is. Jared has returned. Quick, everyone, hide the fun stuff. Just realized my fan stand is going to have to go bye-bye so that I can use the vice. Because I need to use the vice for the next step. Well, one of the next steps. Step is so I do a full flat grind, then apple seed to basically 0, and then I sharpen. The standard ABS grind. Originally posited by Bill Moran and Jerry Fisk. Okay, so I'm doing a far side set down away from the handle, about a 1/2 inch of material. About a 1/2 inch of material. Offset. And now I'm just going to draw that down to the same width. That's it, Moondog. I use both. Yeah, I really like those bellows for sure. Well, it's not actually a small tripod. I can lift it up. It's just that I put it down there so that I can have the fan blowing directly on it. Roughly, Melbourne, roughly. They don't even have the same 0 point. So 0 degrees Celsius is like 41 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm 6'4", Caitlin. 6'5" in shoes. 32 degrees, sorry. Hello to Canada, Dragon Water Forge. There you go, mate. No, so on a hunter, I normally leave about 1 millimeter of edge, or 40 thousandths of an inch, before apple seed. Quite thin, very thin. Well, if it was 6 of my feet, Daniel, then it would be quite a bit bigger. Yes, it's 102. Fun. Inside workshop, it's about 110, 111. Hey, Techron. Oh, have fun, mate. Yeah, well, we'll trade, Jared. We'll trade. Alright, I'm just going to straighten this up a bit. Then I'm going to walk over the press and be lazy. Yeah, about that. I'm a very big guy, let's just say that. Yeah, I'm 198. Yes. The big thing about me is it's not necessarily my height that's the problem. It's the fact that I'm both high and incredibly wide. On whetstones, Jay. I actually have a video with Pete Collins where I taught him how to sharpen, so if you're interested in my sharpening methods, please feel free to check that out. I also have another video that I did a long time ago on intro to sharpening. You can look at that on my site as well. I think it's in my beginner knife making series. Oh, playlist. I wonder if Crawford's noticed that his name is different. Alright, I'm going to stick this in the vise. That. Gonna get my fuller. Gonna go in there like this and pop. And I'm trying to drive this straight down into the vice jaw. I'll go back in for some more heat. Nasty D-lam there. Borax. That's pretty big. Yeah, Appleseed edge is slightly convex. Yes. Exactly right. Convex edges. Quite common on axes, actually, funnily enough. Yeah, so Appleseed edges just refers to convex edges on material. So instead of having flat edges, it's slightly convex. It's the strongest type of edge, but it's also normally the widest type of edge. So one of the big things is that when you're looking at an Appleseed edge for a knife, it should be very, very slightly convex. We've got 23 viewers and 17 likes, so camera's getting pretty hot. It's going to stop charging pretty soon. Yes, if it goes the other way, that's a hollow grind. Concave. Absolutely, Daniel. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, you'd be surprised, Sean. A lot of custom chef's knives these days are S-ground, so they have basically a fuller, but it's a very, very shallow concave on the flats of the blade, and then they have an apple-seeded edge, so it provides more of a kind of wedging action for the knife to food release. Food grade stainless, well, any kind of martensitic stainless will work. 440C, 12C27, CPM 154. If you're looking to forge it, the only stainless that I'm aware of that forges kind of okay is 440C. But yeah, all the other ones tend to crumble at high temperatures. Well, that would be a chisel grind, Stefan. Hey, Rich. No, I'm not done yet. My phone's not done in yet. It's just going to stop charging very soon. As Alex Steele would say, less yak yak, more whack whack. About as far as I'll take it. And that's my integral guard. So what I'm going to do now is take a cross peen and draw that out a little bit more into my guard log. Yeah, chisel edge, chisel ground. Kiridashi are chisel ground, but the chisel grind is not called Kiridashi. Yeah. So I don't heirloom fit a lot. There are certain knife builds that were. There are certain knife builds that are good for heirloom fitting. One of the big things is heirloom fits are designed for natural materials. So natural materials that are going to expand and contract with heat or moisture or cold. You want an heirloom fit rather than a close fit, because if the material expands past the metal, then you have a sharp ridge, and if it contracts, then you have a sharp ridge. So the heirloom fit allows you to have that buttress that if it shrinks, you still have kind of a rolled edge, and it's not a sharp edge on your handle, which is a little bit more comfortable. Hey, Weston. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Well, I'm glad I could help clarify that, Sean. And you are most welcome, Daniel. You're always here, and you're a decent dude, so I figured you'd be a good choice for moderator. Nils won't be gone forever. He's just going to be gone for a while. Bring out my fancy hammer. Do some cross-beam work. that's all it needs. That little guard lug, it's just to stop the thing from sliding on with the blade. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to clip the tip off using the hot cut, and then we'll get to forging the bevel. Before we do that, we're going to do some tricky business. What I want to do is just thin this out a little bit more. Oh, you're welcome, Jay. I'm always happy to share my knowledge when I can. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me at samcountsbladesmith@gmail.com. Also, if you want to mail into the Forgecast, we regularly answer questions on the show, so... You're very welcome, Daniel. Now you get to ban people if I tell you to. Yes, he will be missed, but hopefully you guys will still listen and still enjoy the Forgecast even when it's just me and Alex. I know we don't have the sweet Swedish accent that Niels did, but hopefully you'll still enjoy the show. Yeah, Sean. Well, that's it. I mean, Niels provided that kind of fresh look at things. Yeah, well, that's it, Rich. He's had a lot on his plate recently, and he's kind of had a lot of things taking his attention. So we had a couple of really long talks, and obviously he didn't want to leave, and we didn't want him to leave, but he just had so much else on his plate that he couldn't afford to continue devoting time to the Forgecast. Especially because he was being very distant to it anyway, given everything else. So yeah, it was just a natural occurrence. He might be back. He might come back. We definitely plan on having you back as a guest. I am self-taught, Jay. I do not have a mentor. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Weston. We only want to get better. We're going to have more awesome guests. We're planning on having new challenges and new segments. We've got a lot of plans for the show. So yeah, no, you don't hear much of the Aussie accent in Sydney. Sydneyites are a completely different breed. Most of my information came from YouTube and experience and books, lots and lots of books. Fair enough, Weston. Thanks for checking in, mate. Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks. That's it. And that's pretty much it. If you want to hear how I got my start, I've given a few things. If you watch my Intro to Bladesmithing series, or like Intro to Blacksmithing, Bladesmithing series, I go into how I got started and what my advice is for new smiths. Thanks, Luke. Have a good one, buddy. Yes, Caitlin, you definitely do have an accent. Yes, it will, Jay. This time will be available, provided nothing goes wrong. Knock on wood. Win mine, Ben. You didn't even get in on mine, Ben, so you can't complain about mine. I still have yet to win anything. I won your admiration. Well, that's the most important thing, Caitlin. So that's all the press work done. Sam 101. No shit, Jared. Seriously. I'm terrified of the day you stop being my patron because my my Patreon donation's gonna halve, quite literally. So For those of you who didn't see my Instagram, I accidentally missed my work and hit my hot cut. Uh, 240, Jay, 240 volt. I appreciate that, Jared. That's good to know, man. And yeah, recently Stefan joined the Patreon crew. Rich Miller joined the Sapien crew. Also, Foxtron Forge. He recently joined the family as well. I need to make myself a brass hammer, Caitlin, for sure. So yeah, I'm really happy with my Patreon family. I'm really happy for their support. It's awesome to have them on board. Wouldn't be able to make this kind of content without you guys. Actually, funny story. You guys recently literally got me out of a jam. My car battery died. And when the repair dude came out, the car battery was so dead that they couldn't even get it to take a charge. So they ended up having to replace the battery on the side of the road, but they wouldn't let me leave without paying, and I was panicking because I was like, I don't have that money. And then I looked at my email and I had the Patreon payment come through. So thanks to you guys, I still have a car that runs. Nils is an incredibly interesting character. I need to make myself a mild steel hammer for using on hot cuts and stuff. At least, if not a brass hammer. Isn't that Texacan there, Daniel? Texacan? Thanks, Melvin. That comes from reading a boatload of books and spending multiple hours a day researching the stuff that I'm really interested in. Yeah, well, if you saw my post recently, I actually used a chisel plate and a chisel to cut a round shape out of a piece of sheet metal. Very useful. All right, now we're going to hot cut the tip. Want it to be as long as this whole thing, so I'm gonna... There it goes. So for those of you who are wondering, I didn't actually point, I hit over the side of the hot cut to knock the whole thing off. Yeah, he recorded his version, Caitlin, but the original music was from a kids' TV show from Sweden. Yeah, kids movie. That's the one, Jay. Maybe not enough patrons, but the plan is for 2021. I'm hoping to go in 2021. 2021 is the goal. You know, even the intro was actually Nils, but the tune is from that show. Yeah, nice, Sean. That's perfect. I won't use copper mainly because I don't have that much copper, but mild steel works just as well. Yeah, when I was hot cutting earlier, you don't want to hot cut all the way through onto the hot cut surface. What I do is, if this is the bar and this is the piece that I'm cutting off, my last strikes go like this, with the hammer falling over the edge of the hot cut. And what that does is knock the piece off without damaging the edge of the hot cut or the face of my hammer. You'll see it quite commonly used with anvil hot cuts, is they'll hold the piece off the edge of the anvil, and then the top cut will be, if this is the edge of the anvil here, or let's use a square edge, if this is the edge of the anvil, the hot cut will be just off the anvil, and they'll shear it. Yeah, with the hammer force is one of my favorites. The thing is that it's copyrighted, so we can't use it unless we pay royalties. Oh man, that's a long list, Jay. If you actually go to the ABS website, there is actually a manual sheet on how you get VJS. But basically, you have to make 6 knives, one of which is a practical test knife, and 5 of them are display knives that you're going to put before a panel of judges. The test knife needs to cut a 2x4.5 twice and still be able to shave arm hair, cut a free-hanging 1-inch manila rope, and then be in one swing, that is, and then be bent to 90 degrees without cracking more than a third of the width of the blade. It has to be a maximum of 15 inches overall, with a maximum blade length of 10 inches, and it can be a maximum of 2 inches wide. For the display knives, they can be anything, but they want you to show a variety of style. So you can't just make all the same knife. And what they're looking for is fit and finish, applicability, and overall design. So you want to have a really good design, like an overall good-looking design, to have a decent chance of success. Now, you're not allowed to have any damascus on any of the blades that you put forward for JS, because they don't want it detracting from the effect of the design itself. And then MS is just basically the same thing, except the test knife has to be a minimum of 300 layers, and you have to make a European quillian dagger with a blade no less than 10 inches long, with a fluted handle with at least 4 flutes with twisted wire running through it. You have to, and that has to be a minimum of 400 layers with a pre-planned pattern. But I'm not going to be going for MS for a number of years. Okay, so I'm just going to true up this point that I just cut. Grab my bladesmithing tongs. I'm going to black my bladesmithing tongs. I'm going to grab my other bladesmithing tongs. Hard to getting a decent grip on this. I wonder if my 1-inch box will work. Yeah, Jay, it's not easy. Hey, Fox Run! Yeah, the Journeyman Smith. Morning, Will! Well, this may be an abject failure, unfortunately. Fair enough, Will. Sorry I'm being loud. Oh, it's getting real hot in here. Well, Rich, we all started somewhere. Hey, Cat. Where'd that breeze go? That's it. We blacksmiths don't, well, we bladesmiths don't make mistakes, we just make smaller knives. Now I'm going to drop it. what I'm going to do. What I was going to say, I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to set my harpoon. Ah, grip it. Not going to plan. Okay. That's it, Daniel. Just giving you your wake-up call, buddy. Hey, Curiosity, how you going, man? Woo, fun and games. Oh, wow. Bad, guys, bad. I don't like the look of this. I'm getting a sinking feeling. I'm getting a very, very bad sinking feeling. Yeah, well, that tends to be the standard for most beginners. I think because I talked about it last stream, but when I ended up forge welding last week, I accidentally forgot to turn the pressure up on the gas tank, and so we were running at about half pressure, which means that I wasn't really getting up to welding temperature. So I think that this thing's completely fell through, and it's got no real solid welds in it. I think it's got a couple, but I only did real solid welding heats for those last couple of heats, which is not helpful. So we might have nothing but a big bunch of delaminations here. It will be very sad. Yes, last week's Damascus. Yeah, I'm sure it was me, Jared. It's totally my fault. Yeah, I'm really not liking the look of things as they stand. try and save it. Worst case scenario, it's going to be a very pretty shot knife. This is the stuff that I do for your entertainment. Well, it's not so much how fresh it is, Stefan, it's just about how well welded it was. And seeing as this was not very well welded at all, it's just not holding together. And that's my fault because I wasn't checking the pressure when we did the last live stream. This is how... oh, it will receive a heat treatment at some point. Off-color jokes are fine with my wife. Yeah, sintered instead of fused. I think it was, yeah, mildly fused in some spots, but yeah. I think we're just kind of, I think we've got giant pockets to lamination. So, well, we'll figure it out, we'll work with it, and see what we can do. You'll hide the evidence. Hey man, if this has delaminations in it, you pay the shipping and I'll send it to you. Not actually that expensive to send knives. I was quite happily surprised when I sent Alan his knife when he won the giveaway. So it's not unfeasible. Alright, so I'm going to try and pretend that I didn't see all of those delaminations in there, and I'm going to go ahead with the plan that I had before. I'm going to let this cool off. I'm going to let this cool off on the anvil. There's nowhere else to let it cool off. I'm going to quickly set up the angle grinder. No, I haven't. I don't ground into the tip. Oh no, yeah, no, puns are a daily occurrence. Yeah, I saw that one too, Caitlin. I just didn't say anything. Yeah, that's not my style, curiosity. Yeah, it was actually quite literally a pun competition. I think we spoke for an hour about the curtains. Alright. I wonder if anyone can guess what I'm about to do. It's either something very smart or very dumb. Nothing I haven't done before. I did, man. Of course I did. I have the best buttons. And by the way, you can get your cool Knifealism shirts and posters now at my Redbubble store. Links not in the description. Oh, nice, Randall. Where's mine? I hope you saved some for me, buddy. Oh, nice. Congratulations to your daughter. Okay. Should be cool enough now. Yes, they should be cotton, 100% cotton. I'm pretty sure that, that's part of red bubbles kind of thing. Right. Got the knife jacked up with the vise. Got a grinding disc on my angle grinder. And the angle grinder's not plugged in. Of course. Shift you away a little bit. So, as some of you may have guessed by now, I am bladdering the billet. Just checking to see if I've cut through any layers and exposed any delamination. It doesn't look like it. So, the trick to a good ladder is having a relatively even spacing and even depth of cut, so that you get an even width. Woo. Hey, Billy. Yeah, I had my safety sprints on. No, I was cutting it with a grinding disc, Ben. It is indeed ladder pattern, although it's not quite ladder pattern. Yeah, so that's not actually defining the plunge cut. I'm going to forge that in. This is simply laddering of the billet. Now it's not actually quite true ladder pattern, because true ladder pattern would also cut through the spine. I'm leaving the spine alone and only forging the ladder in the edge. So we should get quite an interesting cut. And now out comes my favorite hammer. My favorite hammer, my English cutlass hammer. That's correct, Jay. Although I've kind of established my distal taper, I cut the ladder before I established my bevels. Whoops. No, I had safety glasses on. You just didn't see it. See? I had my safety glasses. You just couldn't see them. And I took them off before I turned the camera on. Safety conscious as always. Yeah, something like that, Sean. Yep. So technically, I don't have to forge it at welding heat. If I'd seen any delaminations in the weld, in the ladder, I would then weigh up whether I throw some more borax on and give it a shot, or if I just chuck the whole piece in the bin. doesn't hurt to run things at welding heat at this stage, but you've got to be aware of decarburization. If you run things at welding temperature for a long period of time, you're going to lose a lot of carbon. Can't wait until I build my new forge. That's it, curiosity. So I did spot a D-lam as I started forging there. So I threw some borax on it, and I'm going to try and weld it back in. At this stage, it's looking like this is going to be a failure. But I'm going to treat it like it's a learning lesson, a learning experience, and we'll just get on with it. Dead. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to weld back on itself, so it's an abject failure. forge it out to completion. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'll forge it out to completion, make it look good, grind it up, heat tread it, and then if any one of you want it, send me an email, samtownsbladesmith@gmail.com, and I will ship it to you. Alright, you want to get an idea of how hot it is? The acetone bottle is heating up to the point that it's actually started to swell, that the bottom's actually bulged out and it fell off the thing, so. Getting pretty warm in here. See ya, Stefan. Absolutely, Moondog. That's why I'm finishing it. Sleep well, Stefan. Shadow Sniper. Below freezing, that sucks. I'd trade ya. Yeah, no, Daniel, it's too thin. It's got all the tapers and stuff in it. And I don't like holes in my work. very, very hot. No, the delaminations are through the knife, so even if I cut it, fold it, weld it, those delaminations are going to stay in there because they've oxidized inside the layers. Go ahead, Will. Recurve-esque point. So you're talking about like a clip point. You could technically call it a recurve, but basically you just have a recurve with a really serious recurve. Last little bit of straightening and we're done. I would cope definitely better in snow. It does snow in Australia, just not in Western Australia. Well, not my part of Western Australia. That'd be cool. Well, just to make Caitlin happy. They're on my face. Okie dokie. Whew. Alright, so unfortunately, due to several unavoidable delaminations because of my poor welding skills, this is not a functional knife. But you can see the overall profile works pretty well. Handle's a bit longer than I need it. I can always grind that back. Profile's pretty good. Bevels are quite thin. Not sure how well you can see that. It's dead straight. That all has to be ground off. It is ladder pattern Damascus, and it will be look pretty good once it's done. But unfortunately, it won't be sellable, or to my quality at least. So, as I said, I'm more than willing to send this to someone if they want to pay shipping for it. They're more than welcome to contact me at samtownsbladesmith@gmail.com, and I will send this to them, and they can play with it. And we can talk about whether you want it ground and hardened or unground and unhardened, and you can do that stuff yourself. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to head inside because it is blistering hot out here, and I'm going to die if I'm out here for any much longer. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for sticking with me. And we'll have another live stream on next Saturday. I will have another video coming out on Wednesday. Pretty sure this one's going to be the hammer techniques video. Beyond that, if you want to join the Patreon crew, as quite a few of you now have, please feel free to check the links down below to Patreon. You get access to behind-the-scenes stuff, bloopers, all that kind of thing. If you want to buy merch from me, I have a Redbubble store, which if you look up on Redbubble, Samtown's Blades, they wouldn't allow me to put Bladesmith because it was too long. Samtown's Blades, you can find STV shirts, STV merch like cups and hats and stuff. You can also find Knifealism, which is my new dictionary definition of my attitude towards life. Life may have no point, but my knives do. So please feel free to check those out. Otherwise, I will see you on Wednesday on the next video. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you had a fantastic week, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week. Oh, you got it. Did you, Rich? That's awesome. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.